Leaving New Orleans is never a permanent decision. There's always a glimmer, a persistent tug, the hazy plan to one day, someday, go back home. If you're from New Orleans, and of a certain age, chances are you know Dixie Beer.
I remember walking to the K&B, which used to be right down the street with my dad, a couple times a week, and he would buy Dixie Beer. And at one point I asked him, why do you always buy that? And he said, it's local. And he felt very strong about drinking local.
It was such a part of this neighborhood. And not just this neighborhood, but so many neighborhoods in the city.
Dixie was everywhere. It was the beer in New Orleans, without a doubt.
You can find different places in the city, uptown, downtown, back of town, Pigeon Town, Girt Town, Dixie Beer. I don't care where you go, you'll see that sign.
Born in 1907, Dixie Beer was brewed right in the heart of New Orleans for nearly 100 years, until an unprecedented disaster pushed it out of town.
It withstood World War I, World War II. It's been there through everything. And when we left, I don't think any of us knew how really, really bad it was going to be.
Now, 12 years after the storm, Dixie Beer is finally coming home.
Well, I'm glad you held on to it all this time. So we bring this Dixie back to New Orleans, they're going to love it. They're going to love you for holding on to it so long.
Well, they're going to love you for helping save it.
The whole city's going to be excited.
The direction for Dixie under new owners Tom and Gail Benson is back to quality. The return to the original 1907 recipe and best-in-class brewing practices will be followed by a return to New Orleans, with site selection underway for a new state-of-the-art brewery in Orleans Parish.
We get back an iconic beer, a brand that's New Orleans. We get great beer, and we get great jobs and opportunity for our citizens. That's a win-win-win.
Dixie is now available from the lower 9th Ward to the lower Garden District and beyond. On tap, in cans and bottles, just like the old days.
It's one more indication that the best people and now the best products are coming back to New Orleans, and that's just incredibly encouraging for the future.
If it's true that New Orleans is defined by comeback stories, then this is another remarkable chapter. Dixie Beer, the original craft beer of New Orleans, an old friend who moved away and is finally coming home.
No drinking on a job, I gotta be careful.